Okay. December 2014. I had just moved to Atlanta fresh from Chicago. I'm coming to chase my dreams of being an actor, director, singer, songwriter, screenwriter, rapper, all of the things. Okay. And I had been living with my grandparents when I moved here. I had been in the house since I moved in. I hadn't networked with anybody. I hadn't looked for a real job. I wanted to, but I just hadn't done it yet. So this in particular night, I decided to do my hair and go outside. I'm feeling good. I'm looking good. All of the things, everything in me is like, girl, get outside. But everything around me was telling me not to go anywhere. At that time, I only knew a handful of people, and those people are famous. So they're celebrities. So they get booked. And then, so it was just kind of like nobody was available. I decided I'm going to go solo dolo by myself. Everything was telling me not to go. Time was moving fast. It was like one moment it was 9:30. The next minute I'm looking up is 1 o'clock in the morning. My grandparents are like, are you still going? And I'm like, yeah, I'm still going to go. I walk outside my door. As soon as I get outside, it starts pouring down raining before I could even take a step off of the doorway. Pouring down raining. I'm like, what? Like, why? I cover my hair and I run to the car. I'm like, I'm still going. I get in the car. My grandparents live in Cobb County. Cobb County is prolifically known for how aggressive the police are. I get in my car. As soon as I turn on the main road, the police pull me over. I'm like, okay, at this point, I don't need to go nowhere. I pull into this side road. And at that time, this is kind of embarrassing. I have a failure to appear warrant in Illinois at that time. Yes, I should have went to court. So I'm scared. There was also this extra energy around. First of all, it was like pitch black dark. No street lights, nothing. It's trees and woods everywhere. And I'm on this road with police officers that are known for being problematic and somebody who had just got killed by the police. It wasn't Mike Brown. It wasn't like Trayvon Martin. It was another person who had just got killed by the police. I was just so scared for some reason. It wasn't a normal like fear. It was something else that was causing this. He gets out the car and I literally see him open his holster and put his hand on his gun. So now my heart is beating really fast. He's showing signs of like fear also. Like he's just as afraid as I am, to the point where when he walked up to the car, he's like kind of behind me. So I got to break my neck to kind of look at him. His hands are shaking. I'm like, why is he so afraid of me? I'm on this road. Nobody can see anything that's going on. And then, in a normal situation, he about to ship me back to Illinois. I'm like, no. So, he ends up giving me a warning. But I'm so shook at the time. You know what? I'm just going in the house. Like, it's over with. I gave it all that I had to get out the door, and it's not happening, so I'm going to go back. I was only about a 1 minute away from the house. When I walk in, it was so weird. Every light in the house was off. It was completely black, pitched black in the house. That's not normal. My granny and we would sleep in the sunroom together watching TV because we stayed up later than my grandfather. He would just sleep in the living room. The bedrooms are upstairs, but we would all just be downstairs for whatever reason. It was pitch black. The TV wasn't on in the sunroom. The little light that's over the sink in the kitchen wasn't on. Like, everything was dark and everything was quiet. It was strange and it was very creepy. I don't want to disturb anybody. So I go upstairs to my bedroom and I change out. Suddenly I'm like, I'm thirsty. I want some water. So I go down. Like I said, it's pitch black. I can't see anything. I tap my phone for the flashlight, and I have to walk past my grandfather in order to get into the kitchen. I just remember wanting to open that refrigerator so bad so that the light can shine through because I can't see anything. Before I could even open it, my grandfather makes this loud grunt. It scared me. It was loud, quick, almost like if you turn the corner and somebody says boo. I pour me a glass of water, I go upstairs, and I drink the water. A couple minutes upstairs, I realized I was still thirsty. So I go back downstairs to get another glass. I walk past him, I tiptoe, I open the refrigerator. He starts grunting again. And it's a weird sound. He does that all the time, but this was just way, way different. It's creepy. This stillness in the house, just so dark and so quiet. And this noise that he's making. So I pour me another glass of water and I go back upstairs. A couple minutes go by again and I'm thirsty again. This thirst, y'all, was not normal. It had only been like 5 minutes and I then went through 2 glasses of water. Full glasses. I'm just like, what is going on? I go back downstairs, same thing. This time, I hear my grandfather in a voice that wasn't his. It wasn't his voice. It was not his voice. It had so much hate in it. This is beyond like if you're asleep and somebody disturb you and you're annoyed and you're like, what? You know, no, this was like, this was not, first of all, it wasn't his voice. And second of all, it had energy behind this voice. It was like hatred. He said the words, what is she doing now? It was so guttural. I can't describe it. Like, I'll make a fool out of myself trying to like imitate it, but it was like a no, like kind of voice. I'm just looking like, what the heck was that and what is going on with my grandfather? I can't see 2 feet in front of me. In the same breath of him saying that, I hear my grandma. She's in the sunroom. The door's closed, but the door is made of glass and wood, so you can see through. I hear her say, Kiana. I look over, and she's sitting straight up, like she hadn't been asleep. Like this whole time, she's been awake and just sitting up in the dark. I can just see her silhouette. Creepy. And I'm like, yes. She said, tell me what happened tonight. I go in there. I can't wait to turn the light on. I cannot wait to turn this light on. Okay? I go in there. I turn the light on and I sit on the opposite side of the couch. I'm just drinking the water. She wasn't herself at all. And she's just sitting there like this. I'm like, Granny, I don't know what's going on. But I got pulled over by the police. I came home and I just don't feel good. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. I'm so thirsty. I don't feel good. I couldn't describe to her what was happening to me because I didn't even know it yet, what was actually happening. I'm drinking the water and I tell her this. And if anybody knows my grandma, she is just so bubbly and she has a lot of feelings, okay? She can sometimes be frantic. So this calmness from her, this stillness from her was strange. What I want to point out is my grandfather scared me so bad. I didn't feel safe around him or near him. You understand what I'm saying? That is not normal in my family at all. But with my grandmother, I felt so safe. I felt like I needed to get to her and be near her. Like she could protect me from my grandfather, who is 6'7", okay, in height, and she's like 5'4", 5'3". I felt like she could protect me from him. So she's sitting there. She asked me what happened. And then I told her I didn't feel good. And immediately, without any question, she said, get ready. I'm taking you to the hospital. Like any adult that I know, they're going to say like, oh, what are your symptoms? What do you feel? Would you like a Tylenol? Do you need an ice pack? It was just, I'm taking you to the hospital. I was so happy and relieved because that's how bad I felt. Like, I need to see a doctor. I need to get to an ER. Something is wrong. I remember walking past my grandfather to go upstairs to change, cowardly. Like, I was so afraid to be near him. I was so scared to even walk past him. I changed my clothes, and I had already finished that fourth glass of water. I came back down. At this point, he's already just irate. It's not his voice. He's fussing and fuming, and she's just ignoring him like this. I'm in the kitchen. I'm about to get another glass of water. My grandma's standing there near the refrigerator, and she looks at me, and I'm like, can I have some more water? She pauses for a second, and she goes in. She gives me a glass of water because she's standing there, and she fills the cup up like this much. I remember looking at that cup and just saying, like, I definitely need more water than that, Granny. I took it. Something made me just take it and drink it and not, like, challenge her on that. I drank it, and then I went down to the car. When I got downstairs, the garage door was already open. The car was started, and I went and I sat in the car. I hear my grandfather making all of this commotion. My grandmother is not saying anything. My grandfather is the one who drives in the house. My grandmother does not. Another weird part about that, my grandma don't play that, and my grandfather don't ever talk to my grandmother like that. He wasn't saying anything crazy to her, but he was just doing a lot. The fact that she didn't snap him back into shape, like, with the quickness, that was strange. For him to even talk to her like that, he is so gentle, especially with my grandma. That was strange. So I sat in that car for all of a few minutes before I just really started to feel what was happening to me. It felt like from the top of my esophagus all the way down my center, my core, my entire core was on fire. This is not an earthly fire. It's not something that's hot to the touch. Meaning, like, if you touch a hot stove or if you touch a flame and you instantly just feel that. This was the way. Do y'all remember Indian burns? When someone grabs your wrist and they twist it. It felt like a giant Indian burn. That's one of the best ways I can describe this. Or the aftermath of a severe burn. How that just lingers on. It was a very dull burn. It was my entire core. Y'all follow me? It also had DNA. Follow me on this. Meaning it wasn't going anywhere. There was no amount of water, ice, anything that would soothe this burning. Literally nothing. Again, at that time, I'm not understanding what's happening to me. It hurt so bad, y'all. I was so thirsty. I climbed out of the car, went out of the garage. I'm trying to literally lick the air. The water droplets are still in the air. It's like dew in the air. I remember looking down at the grass and seeing the dew on the grass and wanting to lick the grass. This pain was so intolerable. I actually did try to get the dew out of the air onto my tongue. You can just imagine what that looks like. That's what I'm doing. As I'm doing that, I look up at the sky. I feel something like, man, this is hard to describe. I feel a presence like emerging. It wasn't just there. It was like I felt it coming. As I'm looking at the sky and I'm feeling this presence, it was the most beautiful sky I had ever seen in my life and that I have ever seen still till now. That was 12 years ago. Colors that don't even exist on Earth. We've seen beautiful skies, right? We've seen a great northern lights. We've seen how the sun set and it's just like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. No. This was the most undescribable colors that I had ever seen in my life. I also feel the presence emerging and I feel this weight. It felt like the sky weighed something, okay? And fear. That was the definition of fear. If you think you have a phobia or a fear, like I've had several near-death experiences in my life. No. This is way beyond like you looking death in the face. I cannot describe the fear. The weight was the strength, the power. It was so, I need a dictionary to describe this power, this weight, this strength. It was undescribable. I instantly knew, that I was in the presence of God.